Hello everyone, welcome back to another great episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Today we're going to be doing another quick tutorial, and this is going to be of making tamarind chutney or Imli chutney, and I know there's a couple more names out there for it, but I don't really remember them. But it's going to be very simple. Now this recipe is not going to have measurements just because it will depend on how sweet you want it, how thick you want it, how spicy you want it. So I'm going to give you the ingredients that I use, and then you will have to basically tailor it down to how you like the taste of it. I will also talk about some of the tamarinds that you can use. I've got my first tamarind here that I bought from an Asian store, and this is basically liquid, and it's just liquid concentrated tamarind. Now with this one, if you were to use this one, I would highly recommend that you use very dark brown sugar because this is pretty light. So we've got that one, and then I also have this one. This is available in Restaurant Depot. It's about $3, and it's really amazing. The chutney that I made last time was made out of the concentrate, and I had used this one, and it's absolutely amazing. It's instant. You don't have to like boil it for 45-50 minutes. You can just get it to boil once and you're done with it. Now so we're going to be using this brand of tamarind, and there are other brands of tamarind, you'll see them, but they've got a lot more of the skin in it. While when you buy your tamarind, you want to make sure it's like a pulp, and this one says it's tamarind, it's seedless, but and it's perfect, and you can get the ones with seeds, but it's just more work. So I would highly recommend that you get one that is without the skin. All right, so the other thing also that you can use in it would be the baking dates. That if you put the baking dates in there, then you just don't need to add that much sugar in there, and it gives it a really good taste. So this is optional. If you want to add it in there, you can. If you don't want to add it in there, you don't have to. So basically pretty optional. We're also going to be using some brown sugar. Now because I'm using this tamarind, I'm going to go with light brown sugar because the tamarind is pretty dark here, so I don't want it to get really dark. And then so I'll be using that. I'll be using some salt and then some cayenne. Now salt I'll add completely later, but the cayenne I will add while I'm mixing everything in, and that's because the more you boil this mixture, the spicier the tamarind is gonna get, because the more it's just gonna release all that cayenne out of it. So that is why I usually add it in the beginning. So by the end, when it's done, I do my exact perfect last taste test. Then I know if it's too spicy, I'll add a little bit more brown sugar in it, and if it's not too spicy, I'll add a little bit of cayenne in it. So basically that's it. And then my water is getting hot, so let's start adding everything in, and then I'm also going to add some boiling water in there. Now you don't need to add the boiling water in there, but I do just to speed up the process. So let's get this open because I really want you guys to see. I know my mom used to make it a long time ago, and we didn't get this brand. We used to get the one with a lot of the skin in it, and she would have to sieve it like 4 or 5 times, and to make sure that she gets everything out, and then she would boil that mixture again, and oh gosh, it just felt like it was such a big hassle to do it. So I am going to go ahead and make it out of both the tamarinds that I have. You could use just one if you like. It just really depends on how much you want to make. When I usually make a good quantity. I put it in containers and I freeze it. You can even put it in plastic Ziploc bags and freeze it, and it really turns out amazing. Now I have, this is what, it's March. I've got April, May, and then June, Ramadan starts, and I can guarantee you that I will still have this for the month of Ramadan. So this is why I make a lot, so then I don't have to worry about making it every now and then. And this basically, tamarind chutney is what is ketchup to Americans, tamarind is to Indians. We eat tamarind with everything. So I've got that in. I'm going to go ahead and add my brown sugar in there, and I'll need more, so I'm going to add more. I'm not going to add too much because in this recipe I am adding the dates. But like I said, if you didn't want to, you just add more sugar. And also when you're picking your baking dates, you want to make sure that you have good quality baking dates. And I love using the ones that are like pulpy like this. It's just so much easier and so much more flavorful. Add that in there. And this mixture is going to boil for about 45 minutes. And in the 45 minutes, I'll just come back and forth and make sure that I stir it now and then. At this point, now I don't want to make my tamarind chutney too very, very spicy. So I'm just going to eyeball a good 2 tablespoons of cayenne in it. Okay. And I just heard my kettle go. I will add enough water, about 1/2 to 3/4, and you can always come back and add more water. So this, I'm going to start simmering this. I'll see you guys back here in about 45 minutes. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So you can see here that it's been simmering for about 40 minutes, and I'm going to let it go for another 10-15 minutes. I'm going to have dinner and then come back and I'll show you. I'm going to strain this mixture, and you can see that this mixture doesn't have that many that much skin on it, but it still does, so we will have to strain it. So I just wanted to show you that this is what it looks like. And while it's simmering, the water will get less, so just make sure and add a little bit more water at a time to, you know, just so that it's basically where we started from. So I'll see you guys back here in about 15 minutes. So you can see here that I've just let it cool just a little bit. And what we're going to do at this point is I have this sifter and a big bowl, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of our tamarind just like that. Try and move it close enough so I don't make a mess. And you want to strain your mixture just like that. Now this, you can't get away from straining the mixture unless you use any of the other 2 products that I had shown you. Because that one is liquid completely, you will not need to strain it. But because we used the one that still had a little bit of the pulp in there, we will have to strain the mixture. So basically what I am going to do is just do this until I'm completely strained all of it. Then you have a choice. You can either save the pulp and boil it for another 5-10 minutes, or you could just throw it out. Sometimes I feel like there's really not much left into the pulp, so I will throw it out. And if I do feel like, yeah, I think I'll be able to get more out of it, then I will go ahead and boil it again just to be more economical. But so I'm going to finish this, and then when we come back I'll show you what a beautiful nice smooth chutney we're going to have. So I want to show you, I got most of the pulp to drain out really nice. And always make sure that you kind of also take a spoon and brush the bottom off, because it's going to leave like the thick tamarind stuff, and you really want to make sure and use that and not throw it out. So I'll empty that later. Oops. And then I want to show you, I usually put it in a jug like this. Now this liquid here I got out was when I took this pulp and added more water to it and just kept on squeezing it out. And you can see here that it's not runny, it's not watery at all. So I did get a good amount of the fruit out of the pulp. And then what I usually do is I did give it a try and it's perfect. So then what I do is I just empty it in containers that I either want to freeze or refrigerate. It stays really well in the refrigerator for about 3 months, and then it can stay in the freezer for about a year or more. So I just make my containers just like so. And believe me, when I make this, I usually make it once a year because I have enough. So it works out really, really well for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial on how to make Imli or tamarind chutney. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Hope you can join me here next time with another great video. See you then, friends. If you like this video, please don't be shy and hit the like button. 45-50 minutes, you can just get it to a boil once and you're done with it. Now the one that we're going to be using today is the Ziad brand of, I got the wrong item.